The Carolina Pro Football Report, presented by National PAL. Support National PAL at nationalpal.org.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pro Football Report on ADSN. I'm Kevin Tolbert with your Monday Carolina Panthers update. Well, this week, the Panthers began the process of putting all the pieces back together after their 27-21 loss to the Washington football team this past Sunday. With that, the loss dropped the Panthers to 5-6 on the season. That loss spoiled the homecoming of Cam Newton, who finished the day 21 of 27 for 189 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown, and also accentuated the need to firmly establish the running game for the cadre of backs on the roster. A concept that is still sort of a whack-a-mole type issue for the Carolina Panthers, as well as offensive coordinator Joe Brady. Well, Matt Rule addressed those concerns today in his Monday morning press conference.
When you're trying to control the game, the run matters, so we have to. We have to get off the field versus the run. Basically, yesterday was one run scheme. It was it was really a copycat run. It was the play that scored a touchdown against Arizona. Repped it during the week. We just have to play way better. We have to stay in our gaps, use our hands. We need guys to fit the run. We need to tackle 24 at a much higher level than we did. It's nothing, I always look at things very critically, coaches first. There's nothing schematic there. I mean, we pressured it, we blitzed it, we overloaded the box with it. There's no quarters in the game. There's no six. It's all overloaded. Extra guy in the box. Credit to them. They blocked us. They blocked our 3 technique. They went inside versus our D tackles, and we just weren't able to stop it. So but you hit the nail on the head, David. It is what it is. I think I've said it too. Really yesterday was that plus the third downs. We couldn't get off the field on third down, right? We were playing man to man and didn't win on third down. So that they hit 3rd and 25 and they converted on 4th down. They converted 2 4th downs. So I think it was a mixture of both. Credit to them. They ran the football and they converted on 3rd and 4th down. But it's not any one. It's been different run schemes, versus the Cowboys. It was more of a downhill duo, power running type game. When we hold people under 100 yards, we win the game. So.
Washington ran the ball 40 times compared to the Carolina Panthers' 21 rushes during their loss this weekend. That's something that Matt Rule has been trying to tweak over this year, wanting to get to approximately 33 rushes per game, but that didn't happen on Sunday, and it allowed Washington to control the clock. So expect to see more ground and pound in Miami this Sunday. But the biggest concern for the Panthers, a point that Matt Rule brought up today, is the run defense that allowed those 40 rushing attempts. While they've met the challenge in the passing game, Washington rushed for 190 yards and owned the Panthers on 3rd down. Coach Rule, as well as the defense, share their thoughts.
We ran the ball 21 times. We'd like to run it 30 sometimes. I just think the issue was the defense couldn't get off the field, so the offense didn't have enough possessions, and then the offense didn't convert enough 3rd downs. When we converted 3rd downs, we went down and scored. Penalties, we had a 2nd and 2 penalty, which Michael Jordan was called for a false start. He didn't move, so I'm not going to get on him for that. But we had two bad holds on 1st downs that brought the ball. Even in the last one, we're down 3. Christian hits a wide zone. He hits two 15-yard, whatever they were, 15-yard runs that get called back. So he hits the wide zone. We have the ball to the 35-yard line. It comes back. We had a hold on Taylor Moton, which was a hold. And I thought, Amir only had 1 carry. Chuba had none. So I don't think it was really like, hey, are we limiting Christian's touches? It was as much as anything, most of the passing game trying to feature Christian, trying to run it with him. So, some of the zone reads, obviously, Cam had a big, long run. But I think, if anything, Joe, to me, it was the defense. They had whatever, going into the half, they had a long drive. Then they had a long drive coming out of the half. That takes away half the game. It's exactly what you have to do to beat us, and they did it. If our defense played better, the offense has more chances, then the offense has to be better on 3rd down.
Everybody got a gap. Do your job. Stay in your gap. Play physical.
Everybody here, are grown men. So you don't want to, sometimes guys might see somebody do something wrong And then instead of saying something or getting on them, getting on the person that's doing wrong, tend to show like a blind eye, or be like, hey, or hey, come on now, it's that soft tone instead of a stern, hey, do your job, like get your job done type of tone.
Man to man, we really had bad eyes all day. Guys were looking back at the quarterback. We got beat for a slant for a touchdown that wasn't Dante. We got beat for a slant on 3rd and 9. And then obviously got beat on the over route, got beat on the pivot route for a touchdown. So we train guys to play man to man, to have their eyes on their man, to control him. Once you have control, look back for the ball. We were kind of looking back for balls all day. It's kind of defensively, that's kind of what happened all day. Guys really trying to go out there and kind of make plays and not just playing the defense. If the defense will just listen to Phil moving forward, they'll get back to playing really good defense. It's just kind of like what I was trying to say last week. The game's never about any one guy. It's about everybody just doing their job. It's so easy. It's hard to do, but it's easy. And if guys put their eyes where they're supposed to be and guys are in their gaps, then as you've seen all year, we've had a pretty good defense when we've done that. But we did not play good man-to-man, and obviously I'm sure Dante will be the first to tell you that certainly was not his best game.
So penalties, unfortunately, have become part of the Carolina Panthers' identity this season. They currently rank first in the league with 81 penalties this season, and also rank 5th in the league when it comes to penalty yards. The team was very vocal about the type of cleanup work and accountability that it'll take for them to get back on track this season. But that is a concept that is easier said than done. So let's take a quick look at some other scores around the league that affect your Panthers scenarios this year. Some other scores around the league you might be interested in from Week 11. As you know, the Patriots top Panthers divisional foe, the Atlanta Falcons. The Colts beat the Bills 41-15. The Panthers will match up against the Bills just after the upcoming bye week. The Ravens over the Bears in a close one. And the struggling Texans over the Titans, who fell to 8-3 and had the Tennessee fans on the edges of their seats this week. The Dolphins knocked off the Jets 24-17. The Panthers will face them in Miami next week as they try to find the answers to the run defense and a lot more, according to Matt Rule and some of the players who were vocal today. Another divisional team to watch is the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are now 5-5 and second in the division over the third-place Carolina Panthers after losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. So there's a look at some other scores that you may want to keep an eye on, some of those teams that may be battling for position with the Carolina Panthers in the NFC South. The Panthers take on Miami this week. They will travel to Miami for that game. So they seem to be a lot more hyper-focused when they're on the road than they are at home. So hopefully they'll get the outcome that they're looking for this upcoming week. Well, for your Monday report here on the Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN, I'm Kevin Tolbert. We'll see you next time.
The National Police Athletic and Activities League helps support the mission of kids, cops, and communities. nationalpal.org